Can I just
talk at the same time?
Can I just finish what I was saying so that I don't
6,000 Canadians
so that I don't lose my thought? The point is,
it's the more insidious, secret partisan behavior of very liberal-dominated newsrooms working at the supposedly impartial.
The drama on Asterisk, the View Asterisk, hit a boiling point this week, and it was nothing short of a spectacle. Sparks flew, voices rose, and the tension in the air was palpable as Sunny Hostin and Farrah Griffin clashed in one of the most intense on-air exchanges in recent memory. This wasn't just your typical debate. It turned into an all-out verbal showdown, with neither side willing to back down. The result? A moment that left viewers absolutely stunned. So what exactly happened? And how did things escalate to such an explosive level? Let's break it all down.
he was all about immigration from the southern border, and those immigrants or those migrants look a certain way. So it seems to me this was never really just about immigration. It was about a certain type of immigrant. And so now we have this million, these, you know,
Can I just clarify, though?
Can I finish talking?
Yeah.
It all began innocently enough, or as innocent as debates on Asterisk, the View Asterisk can be. The panel kicked off a discussion about President Donald Trump's latest immigration proposal, a so-called gold card that would offer residency to those willing to shell out a staggering $5 million. This wasn't your typical green card. It was being sold as a VIP pass to citizenship for the ultra-wealthy. Unsurprisingly, the topic quickly became controversial, and the co-hosts jumped right into sharing their opinions. Sunny Hostin, known for her fiery takes, didn't hold back. She slammed the proposal, calling it the most expensive golden visa and questioning its fairness. Sunny argued that it was yet another way to cater to the elite while sidelining everyday immigrants who have been contributing to the country for years.
I think that's some tone-deaf commentary from Sunny Hostin. I just don't think it's the case that the frustration with illegal immigration that is a bipartisan.
Before Sunny could even finish making her point, Alyssa Farrah Griffin jumped in to interrupt, and that's when the sparks really started to fly. Alyssa, the show's conservative voice and a former Trump administration official, argued that Sunny's argument missed the mark. She claimed it was a misnomer, saying Canadians weren't the ones crossing the northern border. Instead, the real issue, according to Alyssa, was people from countries like Mexico and India using the northern border as an alternative route. And just like that, the conversation spiraled into chaos.
Let me just finish this. So wealthy families are overwhelmingly the recipients of school voucher tax credits. I'm not making this up. This has been studied.
Sunny, visibly frustrated, tried to continue making her point, but Alyssa interrupted once again. With a sharp tone and clear exasperation, Sunny pleaded to be allowed to finish her thought without further interruption. A desperate request for a moment of uninterrupted airtime. But even that didn't work. Alyssa refused to back down, and the interruptions kept coming. By this point, the other co-hosts, including Whoopi Goldberg, began to look uneasy, exchanging glances as if to silently ask, "Are we really doing this right now?"
I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it. Most of my family, a lot of my family doesn't have college degrees.
But the stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say I voted for Donald Trump because of racism. That's not, let me just ask, what stat are you talking about?
Let me just dissect the two.
Yes, you can. There's a lot
Hold on. Calm down, everybody. Just take a breath. Take a breath.
Things escalated even further when Sunny raised her voice, hands outstretched in frustration. "Can I finish talking?" she asked, this time more forcefully. The tension in the air was thick. Alyssa fell silent for a moment, but you could practically feel the heat rising from both sides of the table. Just when it seemed like the situation couldn't get any more intense, Whoopi stepped in, trying to restore some order. "Hold on a second, just let me finish," she said, directing her comment at Alyssa, who had just interrupted her as well. The audience gasped in surprise. Was this still a debate, or had it turned into a full-blown shouting match? During the commercial break, it became clear that the drama hadn't cooled off behind the scenes. When the show returned, Whoopi addressed the elephant in the room, telling the audience, "One of the joys of this gig is that there's never enough time to get everything said because people are feeling passionate and want to talk." Her tone was lighthearted, but the message was clear. The co-hosts needed to reel it in. Alyssa, perhaps realizing she had gone too far, offered a half-hearted apology. "I know it gets heated, and I don't mean to step on people when I do. I'm working on interrupting," she said, her voice softer than before. But Sunny didn't seem entirely satisfied with the apology, sitting quietly with a look that could freeze anyone in their tracks.
"I don't care what it looks like. I don't remember asking for it. I don't know why I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
I want to know, when did I say, hey, we need another agency next to NASA?"
Yeah.
So when did we start paying for his stuff?
You talking about SpaceX overseeing FAA?
No. You know that he's going to be cutting.
Yeah.
What made this clash even more dramatic was the underlying tension between Sunny and Alyssa, which has been building for months. This wasn't the first time the two co-hosts had butted heads, and it likely won't be the last. As a former Trump official, Alyssa often finds herself at odds with the more liberal voices on the panel, particularly Sunny. Their disagreements have ranged from policy debates to personal jabs, but this latest incident felt like it crossed a new line. The interruptions weren't just about differing opinions. They felt personal, almost like a battle for dominance at the table. The drama continued as Sunny, still visibly annoyed, tried to redirect the conversation back to her original point. "It seems to me," she said, her voice steady but icy, "this was never really just about immigration. It's about a certain type of immigrant." She accused Trump's immigration policies of targeting specific groups based on their appearance, rather than focusing on the broader issue of reform. But Alyssa wasn't finished yet. "Can I just clarify, though?" she asked, cutting Sunny off once again. This time, Sunny didn't hold back. "Can I finish talking?" she snapped, her tone leaving no room for argument. Alyssa fell silent, but the damage had already been done. Even Whoopi, who usually acts as the mediator, seemed fed up by this point. "I want somebody to make a decision about immigration," she exclaimed, throwing her hands up in exasperation. Her frustration was mirrored by the audience, who applauded her impassioned remarks. But the applause did little to ease the tension on set. If anything, it only seemed to amplify it.
Which, by the way, how annoying is The View getting? God, they're insufferable, that lot, aren't they? It's just a side effect.
By the end of the segment, it was clear the conflict had taken a toll on everyone involved. Sunny sat back in her chair, arms crossed, refusing to engage further. Alyssa, on the other hand, seemed eager to explain herself, but the chance never came. When the show finally cut to a commercial break, the audience was left wondering, had the argument gone too far, and what would the fallout be if the drama didn't stop there? Backstage rumors suggest things got even more heated during the break, with producers stepping in to mediate the situation. While the details remain unclear, it's safe to say this wasn't just another typical day on The View *. The tension between Sunny and Alyssa isn't just political, it's personal, and it's only escalating. As the credits rolled, fans flocked to social media to voice their opinions, with many calling the episode one of the most dramatic in recent memory.
Interestingly enough, you know, there was the court filing that came out, or there was the order that came out from Judge Chutkan yesterday, right? And one of the things that the White House and the DOJ is currently saying is that, oh, Elon has no power. Yeah. Elon isn't doing that.
Sunny Hostin has never shied away from controversy, but lately it feels like she's been living right in the eye of the storm. If her fiery exchange with Alyssa Farah Griffin on *, The view asterisk wasn't enough to keep viewers talking. Sunny's history of bold statements and headline-grabbing moments is certainly adding fuel to the fire. Let's be honest, Sunny's name has become almost synonymous with drama, whether it's on-air clashes or swirling rumors off-screen. But how did we get here? Let's dive into the tangled web of controversies that have followed Sunny for years, including some jaw-dropping accusations that may have you questioning everything you thought you knew about her.
Teachers to have training, require teachers to have licensing, require participating in private schools.
If I may get in, just to make it a conversation.
But because I have children and because I looked at
I went to public school. I believe you got to go to private school.
There is zero statistical significance.
You got to go to private school.
Because nobody can figure out what's being said here right now. No, there is no...
To truly understand Sunny Hostin's polarizing presence, you have to look back at her long history of making waves with her outspoken opinions. Her time on Asterisk, The View Asterisk, has been filled with countless moments where her bluntness and refusal to back down have left audiences divided. Whether you love her or hate her, one thing's for sure: Sunny is unapologetically herself. But that very quality has often landed her in hot water. Take, for example, her infamous remarks about voting demographics during a heated discussion on the show about Donald Trump's election victories. Sunny implied that non-college educated white women were largely responsible for voting Trump into office. Her comments sparked outrage from viewers who felt it was condescending and divisive. Social media exploded with criticism, and even some of Sunny's co-hosts seemed visibly uncomfortable. But did Sunny back down? Of course not. In fact, she doubled down on her statement, insisting, the stats are the stats.
I think he doesn't want he's not going to say that J.D. Vance is a successor because he thinks he's his own successor.
But doesn't that mean that Obama can run also?
Well, you would think so because part of the resolution says no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than 3 times.
Sunny's polarizing commentary didn't stop there. In another eyebrow-raising moment, she sparked conversation when she highlighted the racial divide in voter turnout, claiming that Trump's policies were specifically designed to appeal to a certain demographic. It's not just about economics, she argued passionately during one episode. It's about identity. It's about who feels like they belong and who doesn't. While some viewers applauded her for addressing what they saw as an uncomfortable truth, others accused her of oversimplifying a complex issue. The backlash was swift and relentless, with critics claiming she alienated large segments of the audience. But Sunny seemed unfazed by the uproar, even leaning further into the controversy during subsequent episodes.
And I've been criticizing them for 8 years for doing it, pointing out that it's not the job of the media to take sides.
What's fascinating is how Sunny's unapologetic approach has both strengthened and complicated her public image. While her supporters praise her for speaking truth to power, her detractors accuse her of being tone-deaf and divisive. Behind the scenes, producers reportedly see her as a double-edged sword. She's a ratings magnet. One insider shared, but at what cost? There's always the risk of going too far and alienating the broader audience. Yet Sunny's willingness to tackle tough topics head-on is part of what makes her so compelling to watch. Whether she's loved or loathed, she's undeniably a force to be reckoned with. But even Sunny's most loyal fans were caught off guard when rumors began swirling about alleged tension between her and her co-hosts. While disagreements are nothing new on Asterisk, The View Asterisk, whispers of behind-the-scenes friction have added a new layer of intrigue to the show's already dramatic dynamic. Sources claim that Sunny's fiery personality has occasionally clashed with a more laid-back approach of co-hosts like Sarah Haynes, leading to moments of awkwardness both on and off the air. And then there's Whoopi Goldberg, who, despite her best efforts to play peacemaker, has reportedly grown frustrated with the constant bickering.
But I would tell them to look at themselves very hard in the mirror and say, have we really not brought this on ourselves?
That's classic Sunny, always ready to stand her ground, no matter the backlash. But her insistence on speaking her truth has also made her a lightning rod for accusations of bias and even prejudice. Over the years, critics have accused Sunny of making sweeping generalizations about specific groups, particularly when it comes to topics like race and gender. For example, during another explosive episode of The View Asterisk, Sunny suggested that Latino voters who supported Trump were influenced by what she described as sexism and misogyny within their culture. The comment didn't just spark outrage, it led to a full-blown clash with Alyssa Farah Griffin, who argued that Sunny's perspective was overly simplistic and ignored the complexities of voter behavior. The two went back and forth, with Alyssa throwing her hands up in frustration while Sunny refused to budge. It was one of those moments where you could almost feel the tension radiating through the screen.
Having some more conservative voices on your network, actually not making them pariahs, not directing your audience to feel that everything that Donald Trump does.
But Sunny's controversies aren't limited to the studio. Recently, attention has turned to her personal life, and let's just say the rumors are wild. At the center of it all is her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Host, who is currently facing a massive federal lawsuit accusing him of insurance fraud. That's right, over 180 defendants, including Dr. Host, have been named in one of the largest RACO cases ever filed in New York. The allegations suggest Dr. Host was involved in a scheme to perform unnecessary medical procedures and bill insurance companies for fraudulent claims. According to reports, 2 of his patients who had suffered minor injuries from low-impact car accidents ended up undergoing surgeries that the lawsuit claims were completely unnecessary. And if that wasn't shocking enough, the lawsuit also alleges that Dr. Host received kickbacks disguised as investments in exchange for his participation in the scheme. Talk about a scandal.
According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgery.
Sunny, of course, has come out swinging in defense of her husband. In a fiery statement, she accused the insurance company American Transit of filing the lawsuit as part of a smear campaign. This company has a history of filing frivolous claims, Sunny said, adding that it was using her celebrity status to sway public opinion against her husband. She even threatened to file a counter-lawsuit for defamation, claiming that the accusations were baseless and designed to distract from American Transit's own financial troubles. Our family will not be intimidated or harassed, Sunny declared. We remain unbowed. However, not everyone is convinced by Sunny's defense. Rumors have begun to swirl that she may have known more about her husband's alleged activities than she's letting on. Some skeptics have pointed to her frequent comments about the broken healthcare system, suggesting that Sunny's criticisms might have been an attempt to deflect attention from her husband's possible involvement in unethical practices. Others speculate that Sunny's outspoken nature could come back to haunt her if the lawsuit progresses and more details emerge. After all, being under such a glaring spotlight means that any misstep, real or perceived,